Tomorrow's big Apple event is gonna be huge! Periscope's secretly working on an Apple TV app, Amazon launches Prime Now food delivery, and more. It's Tuesday, September 8th, and this is Crunch Report. This just in, everybody! Live streaming video app Periscope is developing an app for the new Apple TV. This is according to multiple sources speaking to us, which will let users watch live streams that originate on Periscope's app on their television, sort of going from small to big. Now this of course coincides with Apple's event tomorrow. The company is expected to unveil a new Apple TV SDK, which would allow developers like Periscope and others to make apps for the Apple TV OS. This is a big opportunity for games in particular, since a new remote control that includes motion control is expected as well. Think Nintendo Wii. But back to Periscope for a second. Back in June, the company made it possible to watch videos on the web that originated from Periscope without having to be inside the app itself. The Apple TV app could work the same way, without forcing users to broadcast anything if they're just content to sit back and consume. The app currently has 10 million registered users and sees 40 years of watch time per day. Yeah, you heard me right, 40 years of watch time per day. Neither Twitter, which owns Periscope, or the Periscope team responded to our inquiry, but we wouldn't be surprised if the app was previewed on stage in tomorrow's keynote. Let's talk about this event, shall we? Which by all accounts so far is gonna be a big one here in San Francisco. For the first time, it's taking place at the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium, which can hold 7,000 people. That's a lot bigger than Moscone, where Apple has traditionally held events. We're also expecting not just new iPhones, but that new Apple TV, new iPads, most likely Apple Watch news as well. Let's start with the iPhone. The 6S, that's probably what it would be called, is expected to have the same design more or less as the 6, but with a faster A9 chip, 2 gigs of RAM, and a better camera sensor with the ability to take 12 megapixel photos and 4K HD video. The iPhone 6S may also come with Force Touch, which would allow developers to build features for a tap or a press or a deep press, kind of do a bunch of different stuff. The updated Apple TV is rumored to come with that new touchscreen remote, with a microphone as well, and those motion sensors, plus that native SDK and App Store, so that developers like Periscope can make third-party apps. Finally, the iPad mini is expected to get a slimmer design and at least an A8 chip to power split-screen multitasking. A larger iPad Pro, that's been rumored for years now, may come with a stylus and cater to enterprise users. OS X, El Capitan, and watchOS 2 will likely get official release dates as well. One thing you can count on, our live blog and event coverage starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, and goes all day long. Join us, won't you? Moving on now to Lenovo, who loves Apple as well. Lenovo loves Apple. Why, just look at its new phablet, called the Lenovo Fab Plus. It's a huge iPhone 6. 6.8 inches huge to be precise, truly marketed towards those who don't want a phone and a tablet. They want a single mobile device for everything. The Fab Plus features 2 SIM slots, Android 5.0, a 13 megapixel rear camera, a 5 megapixel front camera, has 32 gigs of storage, and a Snapdragon 615 octa-core system on a chip with 2 gigabytes of RAM. There's also a one-hand feature that lets you shrink down the entire display to the bottom left or bottom right corner so you can use the phone one-handed. That is tricky, I like that. It goes on sale later this month for $299 in the US in 3 colors: titanium silver, champagne gold, and gunmetal gray. Like I said, Lenovo just loves Apple. Over the long holiday weekend, TechCrunch's Ron Miller did a great service to the people of Earth by calling for passwords to die. Of course, passwords are the current best way to protect valuable data, but they're rife with problems. The big one? Remembering passwords. Nobody really does that very well. We have so many. Also, hackers can crack passwords. That also sucks. A poll taken back in 2012 found that 41% of people memorize their passwords, 29% write them down, and 9% store them on a file on their computer. These are all subpar options, especially since another survey taken the same year found that the average person has 17 personal passwords and 8.5 work passwords. Now, password managers can help if you can convince people to use one, but even that system is protected by its own password. So if the password manager gets hacked, all your passwords are exposed. Not ideal. I also have various logins here at TechCrunch, as do my coworkers, that require us to change our passwords every 30 days, which in theory should keep passwords fresh and hard to keep up with. But do you have any idea how maddening that is when working under deadlines? I'll tell you, really maddening. So, what's the solution? Well, fingerprints, retina scans. We've always got our eyes and our hands with us, right? If all's going well. Isn't it time for security experts to stop hoping that people choose passwords wisely? That's asking too much of most people. Or that hackers stop accessing other people's passwords, which is never gonna happen? Thank you for listening. Finally, Amazon announced that it's making restaurant delivery an option via its 1-hour delivery app Prime Now in certain zip codes throughout Seattle, with plans to expand to new markets where Prime Now also operates. So, as an Amazon Prime member, I am one, you can view menus from participating restaurants, place orders in the app, and then track your food delivery order in real time. Amazon says that customers will get their food delivered within an hour or less with no additional charges or delivery fees. Prime Now currently promises free 2-hour deliveries, but a $7.99 fee for 1-hour deliveries, so the new service sounds like a much better deal. TechCrunch previously reported that Amazon was testing a Grubhub competitor of sorts last year and had started hiring in both Seattle and New York, probably another market in the future. The Amazon Restaurants division, which grew out of Amazon Local starting back in May, also includes staff from that operation. And that is the report for today. I'm Sarah Lane. Crunch Report airs Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on TechCrunch.com. We'll see y'all tomorrow.